that intro is loud in my ear, man, with my headphones.
Oh, I couldn't even see it, so
Oh man, oh, you can't see it on your end?
nope.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. It's loud in my headphones. I should probably do something about that next time. All right. Well, anyways, welcome in Just Saying Podcast bonus episode, if you want to call it that, I guess. We're gonna do a NFL Week 1 recap before we get to Thursday podcast. So feels good. What's going on?
Football's back. Good Sunday. Football Sunday's back.
Yeah, it felt good watching some games though, right? It definitely felt good though watching the games though. No,
it was good seeing a football team with fans in it.
Oh, that was, you know what? I tweeted that out, and that was probably the best part. Being able to see fans pack stadiums, just like college football was. It felt good because it was like, remember last year, like football was great, right? And like you're still gonna watch it no matter what. There was no fans though, and then they had those, the fake fans that blasted into the stadium or the broadcast and stuff, which was just completely annoying last year.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. It felt good.
I'd be curious to know if there were any "fuck Joe Biden" chants going on because I haven't seen them scroll across Instagram yet.
Well, I will say this though: the NFL won't release anything like that. College football is a little bit different.
Somebody that's at the game would videotape it.
Yeah, I don't. I definitely don't disagree. I don't disagree. It would have been pretty funny. We'll see if anything comes out. I mean, it's only Tuesday. See if anything comes out in the next couple of days. You know.
Yep.
But before we get into football, I did say I was I put out a video yesterday on Twitter. If you do follow me, it's at the Real Ray Yergs. Yeah, his Twitter handle's at Anthony Yurgo. I like to go live a lot of times on Twitter. I like to go do a little bit of Periscope and stuff like that. So I put out a video and I talked about that we were going to do a NFL recap, but there was a small chance, very small, we were going to talk baseball really quick, just a couple of minutes, spend a little bit of time on it. Hey, go ahead. You start. Go ahead.
I'm okay with you wanting to talk baseball.
Yeah, no, just a couple of minutes. Don't spend too much time on it.
Because you sent me that text yesterday saying the Yankees with a bunch of laughing emojis, and they played better. So keep that shit.
I guess I probably jumped the gun on that. I texted him yesterday. The Yankees were down 5-0, I think, after like the first 3 innings or something like that. But that was a big win that they needed to come away with because Toronto ended up winning, and the Red Sox, tough game on the West Coast. They're playing Seattle. That was actually a loss that they shouldn't be able to take, especially against Seattle, since they're in the hunt too.
As it stands right now, baseball,
ESPN, Toronto and the Yankees. Yep.
Toronto and the Yankees as it stands right now.
Yep. So every game from here on out counts big time. It's huge.
Are up 5-1
against the team that they can barely beat. So that's good. Those are the games you got to win, though. Those are the games you got to win.
They need to win these games.
Yeah. So the Red Sox need to win against Seattle tonight and tomorrow. I will say this. I am a huge Tampa Bay Rays fan tonight. I am rooting for the Rays to beat the Blue Jays. So the race is tightening up really fast, not only in the American League, in the National League. We won't get into the National League. We're just going to talk. We're going to end it right here. We're going to get right into football. But any other takes on the playoffs for the American League? Anything else?
Must win games from here on out.
Yeah, we just said that 3 times already. So, and any other takes on MLB?
Go Toronto against Tampa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would you want to root for Toronto though?
I don't.
Because you're
I
looking
just
behind. You're behind Toronto, so why would you want to root for
I'm
Toronto?
listen. All
You
we
got to
need to do
root
is
for
get in.
teams that give you the best chance. Remember that. You got to root for teams that give you the best chance to not only
All we
making
gotta
the
do.
playoffs,
All
to
we gotta
being
do is get in.
above. All right. Well, we'll just end it on that. So it's must-win games, like we said. This is the fourth time now. Must-win games. Every game here on out. We'll touch more on that on Thursday on our normal show. Anyways, back to the good stuff. Week 1 NFL recap. What's your first takeaway from week 1? What's your first takeaway?
Well, Patriots lost, but I'm okay with it. That's actually one loss I'm okay with because Mac Jones actually looked really good for a rookie.
He did. He's got to be a little bit smarter though. In the fourth quarter, definitely on that drive, right?
It's not just him. I mean, it was the fumbles that really hurt them. Hold on to the ball.
You cut out a little bit. What was that? You got to do what? You got to hold on to what ball? Who fumbled?
Hold on to the football because they fumbled.
Yeah. No, you guys got to be a little bit smarter. It was. Do you know Flores is what 3-2 or 4-2 or 3-1 against Bill Belichick? Did you know that?
Well, he was a former defensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! He was.
Yep.
Oh no shit! I didn't know that.
Well, are you joking or are you serious?
No, I was definitely joking. I was definitely joking.
But I mean, it's the Dolphins. They play the Patriots tough all the time. It's always close games.
No, they always do. No, they always do. What was besides? But yeah, hey, listen. Besides being a homer for the Patriots, I mean, give me your takeaway from best outing, best performance. Who did you watch? Anybody else besides the Patriots?
I did. Obviously, I watched Thursday night's game. I watched the game last night.
That was last week's podcast.
Well, yeah, but that still counts for this week. That's still the same week.
Yeah, but so on Sunday, what did you watch on Sunday?
I watched the games before the Patriots.
Yeah.
And when the Patriots cut out, I caught the end of the Browns and Chiefs game, and the Browns just gave that one away.
So before we get into that game real quick, do you not watch Red Zone?
No.
Dude, you got to seriously, you got to invest. Dude, you use my account for to watch every single thing that's in existence between movies, sports, and everything,
so,
and you can't even turn on Red Zone.
If you want to get into that, I've been trying to watch the Yankee game on that all night, and it will not load.
Oh, if you pay me my money, I'll give you the login account.
Hey, I mean, we can go tit for tat for that all night long.
All right, we won't get into that. I don't know what's going on with that.
You know my stand on that.
Well, I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't tuned in on it yet. But anyway, so you caught the end of the Chiefs and Browns game.
Yep.
All right, so I
watched most of the Bills and Steelers.
All right, so we'll get into those games. So my first takeaway for week 1 is Arizona Cardinals are going to be an extremely dangerous team. They already were last season. I think they're going to be even more dangerous this season.
That was a good game.
You caught the highlights of that? This is why you need to get Red Zone. If you're not watching the Patriots, watch Red Zone, please. I beg you.
It's a waste of time. I'd rather be on a golf course.
It shows everything, dude.
I'd rather be on a golf course.
Oh my God, you are such a man. You're brutal sometimes. You know that you are so brutal sometimes.
I could care less about teams that I don't root for. So
Then you're not a
they
true
don't.
football fan.
Well, no, I don't need to watch those games. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect.
It affects this podcast. Remember that.
It's
Better brush up
just
on
saying
it.
podcast. It's a just saying podcast, so we could just.
Hey,
say
wait a
lot of
second.
things.
No, wait a second. Now, wait a minute. Your friends told me that this was a sports podcast. Nothing to say. Cat got your tongue.
I got nothing to say on that.
All right, nothing to say. Okay, so Arizona, Tennessee. So I'm going to go on record here and talk about Kyler Murray. I was completely down on Kyler Murray 2 years ago when he first got drafted. I said he made a huge mistake going into the NFL. He should have played baseball. Completely whiffed on that one. He looked great last season. Don't get me wrong, but he looked phenomenal on that field. People were chasing him around like they couldn't even catch him. The throws that he was making to Hopkins was everything about his play was just amazing.
Won't
I will
disagree with
say,
you on that.
yeah, I think Tennessee looks lost. Tennessee, I feel like Tennessee blew their load a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah, that's all they were a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
because
I think when they were
not worth the money they paid him.
I don't think so either. I think that when Tannehill came in for the Titans 2 years ago and they made an unbelievable run, it was just that they caught fire. They caught fire. He was playing on the right level at the right time. They were making all the right plays, and they rode that wave all the way to the championship game. I don't think that they're the same team that they were 2 years ago.
No.
Julio Jones on the field, I think I can't figure out what's going on with like Julio. I don't know if it was like Matt Ryan last year that just sucks, but like Julio's getting older. Let's just put it that way. I mean, that's simple, right?
Yep.
But I just don't think Tennessee. I just don't think they have it.
Matt Ryan still sucks. They only put up 6 points, so obviously,
dude. So the Falcons. Man,
did you see? Whether it be a coincidence or not, did you see Tom Brady troll the Falcons?
No. What did he say? Tell me.
Well, he didn't say anything. He posted his weekly video like he always does after the week.
Yeah.
And in the background, the time on his clock just happened to be 3:28. And they just happened to play the Atlanta Falcons next week, who had a 28-3 lead against the Patriots.
I get the whole 28-3 reference. I've been seeing that for like 5 years now. But with that being said, what a complete fall from grace the Falcons have been since that debacle. It's still like they have not recovered from that game.
If you go back to last year when the Falcons played Tampa Bay, they had a pretty much similar lead against Tom Brady going into halftime, and they
did. Yep.
Collapsed again.
Yeah, they did. Well, that was their MO last season in a lot of instances. But for the Falcons to only put up 6 points against an Eagles team that really is not that good, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and especially with Hurts as the quarterback, that's probably the most embarrassing loss I think I've seen the Falcons have in the last couple of years. That was an atrocious start to the season at home. That team just looks. That team needs to be just completely wiped out from anybody that's left on that team from 5 years ago.
I agree.
Listen, I think. Listen, I don't think Matt Ryan. I mean, he's just average. He's definitely not the person he was 5 years ago.
No, I mean, he's not good. He wasn't even good 5 years ago. He was decent.
No, he had a good season. Listen, he put together a good couple of seasons. He definitely had an MVP type season. You know, but that was pretty bad. Listen, I don't want to spend a lot of time on shitty games like that. You know, there's no need talking about those games because they suck. So
we could go to a ton of shitty games. For instance, I mean, Packers. You were high on Aaron Rodgers. So Packers are good. Packers are this.
So I want you to hold your thoughts on the Packers. We'll get into that game. We're gonna dive deeper into that game. So just keep your thoughts on that one, okay?
We could talk about your Colts losing too.
No, so all right. So I'll start right there. I'll stop you right there for 1 minute. So the Colts played an extremely tough team. That's just a Super Bowl contender year in and year out.
So.
Okay, like I did not listen. I did not expect them to. Fan. No, nope. Just because I'm going to tell you why. No, I'm going to tell you why. I did not have any expectations that the Colts were going to win against Seattle on Sunday. I had 0% chance of them winning that game, unless Russell Wilson broke his leg before the game.
Which that won't happen.
No, zero. I had them at 0% chance. So don't give me that talk about me being a typical this fan and a typical that fan, because I had 0% chance of winning that game. You actually had a percentage of the Patriots actually beating the Dolphins.
Well, I wouldn't even consider. I wasn't saying they were going to win. I don't expect them to win a game this season.
Who?
The Patriots. They got a rookie.
You
look great.
Wait. You cut in a little bit. Did you just say that you don't think the Patriots will win one game?
They might win maybe
season?
5 games at best this year.
Oh,
they might win 5 games at best.
All right, I might agree with you on 5, but I probably would give them a little bit more than 5. I maybe 7. I mean, they're gonna play the Jets twice. They're gonna play the Jets twice. I mean, come on.
I mean, the Jets.
You know, there's some shitty teams that they're gonna be playing. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna play the Giants. They're gonna play the Redskins. Oh, sorry, Washington football team. I don't want to offend anybody on this podcast.
Still the Redskins.
So, anyways, listen. Back to the Colts and the Seahawks real quick, okay? So it was a great game. Colts had some opportunities. They did. They had some opportunities late. They left some points on the board. They just weren't able to do it. And like I said, I didn't expect them to do it. But I'm going to say this about Seattle because I've been beating on this drum for the last 2 years, and I was beating on this drum last season a lot on this podcast when I was doing it by myself. How in the world has Russell Wilson not won an MVP award yet? It blows my mind.
That I don't know. I don't think
the dude is an absolute magician on the field. I can't understand or fathom how he has not won an MVP award. The dude, if he's not on the field, Seattle is nobody. It's that simple.
Agreed. He's good. He's good.
I mean, did you see him roll out of if you watched any of the highlights, did you see him roll out of the pocket and throw the ball deep to lock it into the end zone?
Yep.
He does that on like every single play, every week for the last like 10 seasons.
Maybe this is his year and he'll win the MVP.
He should have won it last year, but to me, he's still the best quarterback in the league. He has the prettiest ball thrown that I've ever seen. He throws that ball with a tight spiral. It's beautiful. It's magic. Was it? I think Seattle's going to be. I think again, Seattle's going to be a Super Bowl contender, just like they are every year. I think the NFC West is the best division in football.
All right.
The best division in football. Moving down the list. Moving down the list. Well, the kid says we'll see. Kid says we'll see. Arizona with a blowout win. Seattle with a dominant win. San Francisco almost lost it late, but they still won the game. I mean, who else do you want? You know,
you left out San Fran.
I just said San Fran almost lost it late against Detroit, but they still were dominating that whole game.
That part got cut out.
Oh, that part got cut out? No. I mean, Chargers looked great. What do you think about the Chargers?
They look good. They look good. I mean, it's week 1. So you really can't take too much out of week 1.
Well, I mean, week 1's very telling all the time. Week one shows a lot.
I don't know.
Well,
you won't see any changes till week 2, week 3. That's when it'll get better. Week 1, everybody's out there playing balls to the wall.
Well, I think that's where you're wrong. What was your takeaway for the Pittsburgh Buffalo game?
Buffalo just decided to suck. And
wait a minute. Did Buffalo suck, or is Pittsburgh that good?
I'm not going to say Pittsburgh is that good yet. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they showed it against a extremely high Super Bowl contender, and they looked shitty in the first quarter, but their defense ruined.
Oh yeah,
them. Their defense.
If their defense plays like that all year, then. But they still got Roethlisberger there, so.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't like him.
So again, your personal vendettas against people get in the way of your judgment. It clouds your judgment.
No, I don't like the Steelers at all.
Again, it clouds your judgment as to being a person to give an opinion on a team.
I'll give opinions.
Okay, so to me, I think that I actually think they win the AFC North. And I'm not basing that on the game on Sunday.
I don't know about that.
So
might be talking a little reckless.
All right, so who would you put after week 1? After you watched week 1, 4 teams, who do you think?
I would have said Baltimore, but they just had a debacle last night and decided to let the Raiders win.
Baltimore's not that good. Baltimore is not that good. If Lamar Jackson wasn't on the team, they would suck even more than they sucked last night. He's the only reason that the Ravens even had a remote chance of beating the Raiders last night. They were up 14-0. Don't get me wrong. They were up 14-0 after the first quarter, right? But the Raiders settled in. They calmed their nerves, and then they put it to them. The Ravens have a lot of issues.
Well, they lost their running backs at 1.
Yep.
But
I mean,
it's still week 1. So yeah, they'll come out better next week.
but they haven't been like they were like that last year. They were like high and almighty. They thinking that because the way that they played Kansas City 2 years ago, they're still thinking that they're that good of a team like this season. Like they haven't made any drastic improvements since then. The teams in their division are getting better around them. Pittsburgh's still getting better because of their defense, right? The Browns' offense is 20 times better than Baltimore's. You know, and then don't forget about the Bengals. Don't sleep on them. That was a big victory for the Bengals. Dude, that was a huge. No way, man. No way. Now, when Joe Burrow's on that team, they're a completely different team. They were when Burrow was on the field last season, they were in almost every single game. If for them to walk away with a victory the way that they did against the Vikings is pretty impressive. But I will say this. The Vikings are not the same type of team that they have been the last couple of years.
Nope.
What's the Vikings' biggest problem? This is a toss-up.
You can go anywhere with that. Quarterback?
Nah. It's one position, quarterback. Kirk Cousins. He's the problem. He's the problem. They got the wide receivers. They got one of the best running backs in the league.
Kirk Cousins thinks he's God's gift to green earth, and he's not.
He does. He's not. No. I actually, when the Vikings got rid of, believe it or not, I'm going to say this. When the Vikings got rid of Case Keenum and went for Kirk Cousins instead, thinking that they were going to get an improvement, they were so wrong on that, because Case Keenum actually worked really good in that offense at that time. And that was when Stefanski was the offensive coordinator, but now, obviously now he's the head coach, but they still had one more year with Stefanski as the offensive coordinator. And I felt like that they could have gotten back to the position that they were in that season. But
I mean, Stephon Diggs wanted out of there, so
yeah, I mean, he's in a much better situation.
Buffalo.
There's my point. There's my point right there. Stephon Diggs, one of the best wide receivers in the league, right? Was the Vikings' best wide receiver, knew exactly what he was getting when Kirk Cousins came on the team. He's like, peace out. I'm out.
Yep.
He knew it. Anyways, listen. What are some of the other shitty games that were pretty awful that you took away on? What's your thought on Houston and Jacksonville?
I didn't catch any of that.
You didn't really need to. You didn't need to.
I couldn't even tell you who's quarterbacking for Houston. So
Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback. Deshaun Watson is not starting.
I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to play a game ever again.
So I don't believe now, dude. Listen, if there's like a lot of other football players that we can name off the list right now that keep getting reinstated into the NFL, I'm sure Deshaun Watson will be able to play again. I'm sure they will.
Who's gonna take him?
Cowboys. Cowboys would be a team. I'm just using the Cowboys as an example. That's the type of team that would take them, because Jerry Jones that team likes those kind of players for some reason.
Hence why they lose all the time.
Well, I mean, they got Dak. I'm just kidding. The Dallas won't go pick up Deshaun Watson, but a type of team like that would go pick him up. But listen, I think he's going to end up getting traded anyway, so it don't matter.
Possibly.
Well, that's why he's not starting, because they don't want him to get injured, because they don't know what's going on with his whole legal things and everything. So until that gets sorted out, his draft stock needs to remain high, so that way they can try and sell him.
I don't think any of that's going to get sorted out this year.
Yeah, it will. It will. It has to. It has to. But I mean, Houston played Jacksonville, so I mean, for them to look at them and say that they look good is kind of ridiculous because they're
Trevor
not that
Lawrence's first loss.
the first of many this season for Jacksonville. Jacksonville is
Yes.
predicted to get the number 1 pick. I mean, I don't expect them to win more than 2 games. No way. Listen, I don't think Urban Meyer is ready for the NFL. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think he is.
I mean, I don't know. He should have just stayed where he was, but you know how coaches get.
Well, they get the itch. Yeah, I get it.
But didn't
get it.
Urban Meyer already coach in the NFL?
No. Nope.
Wasn't he going to at one point, but then was like, no?
I mean, his name was always rumored to be an NFL coach, but he never did. Let's see. What other couple of games? What other couple games did you watch that you caught that you want to talk about?
The Browns and Chiefs.
To me, by far the best game of the week. By far. That should have been the Sunday night game.
That should have been Cleveland's W.
So why do you think that they should have won that game?
Because they were sticking it to them. And
they were, and if they were, then they would have won that game.
Well, they couldn't get shit and rolling in the second half. They got
Is it that they couldn't? Problem. Is it that they couldn't get it rolling, or Baker just doesn't have the ability to get them to that point?
I think Baker's got the ability, but
absolutely not.
I don't know. I think he does.
No way. If he did, he would have won that game last night. I mean, on Sunday. He continues to do the same things over and over. He continues to do the same things over and over. He makes those mistakes on those drives that are important to get them the W.
Cleveland will be in the playoffs at the end of the season.
I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you on that. But if they need to be able to come away with victories against the teams like Kansas City.
It's all right. Pretty sure they split last year too.
What?
Lost to them in the playoffs. They split the season matchup.
Well, they only played them once in the regular season, and they did win, but they lost to them in the play. But
I thought they played Kansas City twice.
They're not in the same division, Anthony. How can you play a team twice if you're not in the same division? You're embarrassing yourself.
I know they played them in the playoffs, but I swear I watched Cleveland and Kansas City twice in the regular season last year.
Maybe when you came home drunk one night, you turned on NFL Network and watched it again. I don't know.
Could be possible. I could care less.
Well, anything is a possibility with you. But that, like I said, that was by far the best game of the week. Mahomes looked tremendous, bringing them back, getting that victory. They did look sleepy in the first half. I'll agree with you on that. But that's what great teams do. That's what great coaches do. They find ways to get the W, and that is why Kansas City is the best team in the league.
You're not the best until you beat the best.
You're not selling me on as to why. You just you got to sell me.
You're not the best team until you beat the best. You got to beat the defending champs. If you beat the defending champs, then you're the best.
Listen, so they've made it to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. So they're the best team in the AFC.
And what was the outcome?
How about they're the best team in the AFC? Will that satisfy you?
Yeah, not the league.
Will that tickle your fancy so that way you can get under Tom Brady's balls a little bit more and, flap them up a little bit?
Listen, if they were the best team in the league, they would have won the Super Bowl last year, and they'd be coming in as defending champs. And then they would have a leg to stand on saying they're the best team in the league.
It's, it doesn't just go by just like a team losing or winning in the Super Bowl just because you're the best team.
No,
that doesn't have anything to do with that.
You win the Super Bowl, you're the best team. Plain and simple.
All right,
you play to win the game, not just that week's game. You play to win the Super Bowl for rings.
So when let's see, when I'm gonna have to go back and try and figure this one out a little bit because there's some teams that made the Super Bowl that weren't the best team. So you mean to tell me that if you win the Super Bowl, if a team wins the Super Bowl any given year, they're the best team?
Until they get knocked off that throne, yeah.
So, all right, you know what? I got one. Nope, I got one just for you because I'm gonna stick it to you and I'm gonna rub it right in your friggin' nose a little bit. I'm gonna put your face right into some pile of shit right now. Okay, are you ready? 2007, the Giants were the best team in the league. Because last I remember, the Patriots were going for what was that record again? They were trying to go undefeated. That's right, and that was the only loss, right?
Giants won the Super Bowl. It is what
it
is.
They were the best team in the league that year then because they won the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Regardless of what the Patriots did?
Yep.
I think you're just fucking agreeing with me just to agree with me because deep down, I know it fucking kills you to say that.
If they were that good, they should have went undefeated.
It's got to kill you to say that. It has to. It has to kill you to say that. Dude, you're the biggest dickhead Patriots fan I've ever met in my entire life.
Listen, that was then. They lost. Giants were the best team.
Dude, even look at it. Listen, when we were watching that game at Paul and Mark's house, right? For me to even be ecstatic with John Conca, the only Giants fan in the room, and I was on his side because I couldn't stand the Patriots. Even I know that the Patriots were the best team that year, regardless of what the outcome was.
If they would have won the Super Bowl, then they would have been the best team, but they didn't, so they weren't.
Oh, man. You got to get off whatever horse you're riding or whatever something you're smoking or drinking, you got to get off of it. You got to find yourself somebody new. Man, sometimes there's just no reasoning with you. You know that?
You're not the best team if you fucking go 16.
All right, we're going to get off of that. All right, we're going to take the emergency off-ramp exit on this one.
You're not getting a fucking participation trophy. This isn't fucking Little League.
Hey, this is 2021, and we value participation trophies in today. Okay? Today's age, we value participation trophies.
You play to win, and you play to win the whole thing. Not just make it to the playoffs, 16-0, running through the playoffs, win all those games, and then you lose the big one. You suck.
Listen, so you know that, obviously I'm a coach for Noah, right?
Yes.
Right. If we ever receive a participation trophy for anything that we don't win, I will make sure whatever field, court, or whatever I'm on, those participation trophies will be getting flung across the field.
I wouldn't even hand them out.
I wouldn't even accept it. Listen, we got a couple more games to go over. What was a couple more of the ones you wanted to talk about? I know you want to get one of them off your chest, so just go ahead.
Which one do I want to get off my chest?
The one that we said we'll get back to later.
Oh, the Colts losing?
We already talked about the Colts. I already told you I don't have any expectations for the Colts to win that game. Are you listening to this podcast as I talk?
The Green Bay Packers only putting up 3 points.
Okay, there we go. There you go. There you go. Memory kicked in. That was rough. That was rough. I'm curious to know.
He doesn't want to be there, so he doesn't care.
I agree with you. I think I'm almost inclined to say I think he threw the game on purpose.
He doesn't care. He does not want to be
That's
there.
a bold statement. That's a bold statement for me. I think he threw the game. No, he doesn't
want to be there.
Did you see what he said after? He said that he was almost like contemplating on retiring before the season.
No, I missed it.
Yeah, he said that, and that's going to give your team some real good motivation that you want to be there, right?
Hey, you're the one who picked them to be good.
I still think that they will. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what was going on with that game. They were not in it. They were flat. They looked terrible. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing with Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be curious to see how this plays out. But forget about the Packers. The more important thing is how good the Saints, how much better, I should say, the Saints are with Jameis Winston and Drew Brees. And I tried telling you that last week, and he literally proved my point.
Drew Brees said it himself.
Exactly. That's my point. Drew Brees couldn't get them to the Saints would have already had a Super Bowl, I think, in the last 3 years if Drew Brees wasn't the quarterback.
Maybe.
He could, dude, stop it. Don't give me that. You know that because of the inability for him to throw them down the field. No.
You mean to tell me a Jameis Winston-led Bucks last year would have Saints last year would have beat the Bucks?
Yes.
Absolutely. You're on crack.
Yes, they would have.
You're on crack.
They 100%. They would 100%. They would have been able to keep up with them. Offensively, they would have been able to keep up with them. They would have been able to match them point for point if he was given that opportunity.
I don't agree with that.
Dude, the ability for you to throw downfield plays a huge factor in the way that Drew Brees was only able to throw the ball 20 yards down the field. The defense doesn't even have to move back. They could just bum rush him every single time. And Drew Brees couldn't have gotten out of the pocket. At least Jameis Winston's mobile and can still move. So now you have that different diversity to where you have to watch the deep threat with Jameis Winston, and you have to be able to watch his mobility.
A Jameis Winston-led team was not beating the Bucks last year.
Listen, bold prediction. People are calling Winston for MVP.
Hey, so I know Cousin Ronnie down in New Orleans is probably either listening or will listen into it at some point in time. So,
yep. Oh yeah, he's going. He's good.
I'm just gonna say right now to him, sorry, cuz, but the Saints won't get past the Bucks this year again either.
That's it. What's the wager? I want to know. I want to know what the wager is.
Who's betting?
Man, I've never seen somebody like that just like licks Tom Brady's like balls you're up his ass, dude.
Dude, the guy's the best quarterback to play the game of football.
Dude, I've already admitted that 3 years ago that he's the best quarterback to play the football. Give me something I don't already know.
So as long as he's still playing, they're still going to win.
No, man, I'm gonna remember this podcast when the Buccaneers lose in the playoffs. I will remember this conversation. I don't fucking know to who. I can't predict that right now. That's too far out.
Because there's nobody that will beat them in the playoffs.
Well, we'll rediscuss this at a later date when it comes to the. See, you're a fucking Buccaneers fan. You're not even a Patriots fan. You're such a jackass. You know that?
I'm a Patriots fan. Week 4, I will be rooting for the Patriots.
You're not even giving your team 5 victories this year, and you're talking about Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl like you're his fucking.
They got a rookie quarterback. It's an improvement of winning percentage if they had Cam Newton, because if they had Cam Newton, they were only going to win 2 games because he fucking sucks.
I think I'm going to start excluding the Patriots and Buccaneers discussion from this podcast because I'm not so sure I can take 16 more weeks of this with you.
Get ready, because
either that or I'm going to have to find somebody else to come in as a third party to I can't deal with 16 more weeks with talking about Patriots with you. It's going to be like friggin' scratching nails on the chalkboard.
I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, was Chris at the game last night? I saw that.
Regano?
He was at the Raiders game last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stadium looks amazing, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's the best stadium in the league.
Better than Cowboys?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Cowboys is a nice stadium. Don't get me wrong, but that freaking stadium with the black and they got like they have like a freaking club down on the behind the end zone. They have like personal seats with TVs and a DJ. It's like a freaking dance floor down there.
The guy's house that I'm working at, well, we just finished a job at, big fucking Raiders fan, like huge. Mm-hmm. Like he's got it tatted out, the Raiders symbol tatted right on his forearm. He's got season tickets. He goes. He's crazy. He's got their own group is like, I don't know, in Rhode Island of Raiders fans. Like, I forget what it was called, but he got it on his Jeep Wrangler. Guy's nuts. Crazy Raiders fan. Obviously, I didn't get to see him today to say, hey, I'm shocked they won.
Is there a moral to your story? Is there a point you were trying to make?
No.
That you didn't get to see him?
Stadium. Well, yeah, I didn't get to see him because I was going to say they were going to lose, but they didn't. So glad I don't have to go back there anymore because he wasn't there today and we finished. So because I was talking a lot of shit before he left.
So to end the show. So since we're on the Monday night game, were you able to watch any of the Manning commentary, Peyton and Eli?
I saw it on Instagram.
What did you think of it?
But I mean, I think Peyton Manning picked the wrong career, and he should have just went into acting instead of playing football because he was way better at that than playing football.
Oh my God, man! You know your comments just kill everything. You realize that your stupid comments just like ruin like anything that's gonna come out of my mouth.
He's way better at acting than he was at football.
Oh my God! I'm gonna need to find somebody new to come on the show to talk about football because you're gonna kill me. You know that, right?
Maybe that's the plan.
Maybe. Listen, so what I was gonna say, so you just killed my mood with your stupid comment. the Mannings, right? The broadcast was genius by ESPN. I couldn't even believe ESPN actually made a right decision. First of all, right? And to me, I think I would take that commentary over the Monday Night Football booth any day of the week, right? I'm gonna back it up like last week when they went on the Colin Cowherd podcast. And Peyton was talking with Colin Cowherd, and Eli was supposed to join in. Peyton had to call Eli to remind him. He said, "Hey, did you get the link? Where are you?" Right? And Eli was like, "Yeah, I didn't even check my calendar today. I totally forgot about it. Let me get the link and I'll hit the Zoom." Right? And then like Peyton is like ragging on him, dude. And it made me think, right, when I was watching Peyton and Eli, and it made me think, you and I are like Peyton and Eli.
Don't ever compare me to a faggot Eli Manning brother, ever.
I'm Peyton. I'm the successful, smart, very outgoing, just like Peyton. And you're Eli, where you're just kind of going along with the motions, and you're just kind of like a little dumb and slow sometimes, kind of like Eli. You can't tell me that we don't resemble the Mannings in that way.
No, I will.
See, exactly. That's
a Manning.
That's exactly what Eli Manning would say when he's getting made fun of by his bigger brother Peyton. Yeah, see that there's the look too. You just said you have the Eli look too. You're proving my point. You're proving my point. Keep doing this. This is good.
Fuck the Mannings.
I feel like Eli probably would say that too.
Yeah, because he knows he sucks.
Do you know you suck?
He's only good at making spicy red hot commercials.
Who? Eli? Who's?
Yeah. Well, Eli is the only one who makes those red hot commercials. For the
I don't think I've seen the red hot. Oh no, I don't think I've seen that commercial. I have to go find it then.
In baseball news, the Yankees are up 6-1 against the Orioles. Joey Gallo hit a solo home run.
I mean, they were up 5-0 at the beginning of the podcast. Who cares? Listen, again, I think we resemble. I think we resemble Peyton and Eli. I think we're right on point with it. Because the things Eli does are the things that you do. You'd show up late to a podcast. You would show up late to a show. You'd get a phone call. I didn't check my phone. I didn't even know. I totally forgot. That's you. Speechless, people. Speechless. Says a lot. Being speechless says a lot because he knows I'm right. Listen, anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to talk about? I'll leave it open to you. You can talk about anything you want.
Let's see here. When do the Yankees and Red Sox face?
Next week. Yep, next week. Yep. It'll be next week. Big three games. Yep, big 3 games. That's what you want to say? You don't got nothing else? You got no comeback? No Swift comeback? No Witty comeback? Nothing?
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
There we go. All right. Listen, I'm going to end it right there.
I do, however, want you to fix the stream thing because there's no fucking Yankee game on.
Well, I can't really help you if I'm not there, so you're going to have to try and troubleshoot it yourself.
Already did it.
I think you'll make it.
Already did it 3 times.
So watch the other stream. Watch the Orioles feed instead.
I tried that as well. It says there is no live stream going on. And I was like,
did you go down to USA Baseball? Did you go down to USA MLB? Or it says? I can't help you.
That I would use.
All right. Well, I can't help you. Okay. Anything else? This is it. Last call. Anything else?
Fuck the Colts. Fuck the Red Sox.
On that note, this was the Just Saying podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed week 1 NFL recap. We will be back Thursday. Don't be late this week. Get your technical difficulties out of the way. 8:30 Thursday night. We'll start it over. We'll make sure we get it right this time, okay?
I'm a very busy person. I'm late to almost everything. Only thing I'm not late to is work.
You're not that busy, trust me.
Very, very busy.
All right. He's Anthony Jackass. I'm Ray. Just Saying podcast. Go follow me on Twitter at The Real Ray Yergs. You can find me there. That's where
that's what your Twitter name should be, The Real Baldy.
You got nothing, dude. You got nothing. No jokes. You got nothing. Keep sticking to the same material. When you find something new, come at me, okay? I'm ending this. This is fun. I hope you had some laughs. See you Thursday, 8:30, right?
8:30, 8:45-ish.
All right. We'll talk. See you later.
Later.